this. So Bill Burr is a famous comedian. He has a podcast, and we can just listen to it. We don't have to click it because it's not gonna do much. But he takes a call from a guy bitching about this, which I think is funny.
To cancel it out, and it allegedly resets your.
So this is Bill Burr. Sorry.
Not as loud. Of course, it's not approved over here yet. I don't know if it works.
He's talking about something else right now. Sorry, we'll get to it in a second here.
Anyway, here we go. Work. Hey, Bill, huge fan. Can't wait for Old Dads. I've been telling everyone about it when the topic of new movies come up. Oh, yeah, I think it's good. I'm really, really proud. I own a restaurant that my grandparents started in the early 70s. We're always staffed with younger kids looking for jobs or adults looking for part-time work. We've been understaffed due to the last few years' events and are struggling to stay operational. We'll survive because it's all we have, and we'll make it in the long run. But finding people to work in our area has been very difficult. We pay almost double the server base, and our kitchen positions have had 2 times minimum wage since the 90s. I agree corporations are slimy and are probably feeling the backlash to their inhumanity. But aside from that, it's been clear that younger people are not eager to work. I just think that waiting tables to them is like churning butter. When you can, it used to be if you're a good-looking chick, you become a waitress, you make money making tips. It's like, well, why do I want to do that when I can just go on, like, Instagram and be like, oh, my God, you like this dress? And, kind of stick your finger in your mouth a little bit.
It's kind of a sexist thing to say, but...
Whatever the fuck it is. How chicks do on the internet?
Yeah, that was a little sexist, but he's getting to a point where, look, he's not exactly PC. That's not his spiel. I'm not defending him or anything. That was pretty horrible. But he's getting to a point where he's trying to explain it's probably not attractive to work at your restaurant anymore because kids have other opportunities, and that's kind of what he's getting to. He's just doing it in a stupid way.
I think that's what it is. They have. It's not that they're not working. I mean, they obviously are working. How are they paying their rent? So I think they're working. I just think old people like us don't really know what the new jobs are. It can't all be in entertainment. I feel like they're like everybody else. They're always on their phone and they're always consuming content. So I imagine they're trying to get into that world because that's the world they enjoy. If I was a younger person, I would probably want to get involved in creating video games, make an app, get in shape, and I'll just be your fucking personal trainer through the internet, and then I can be at home. I think maybe like the combination of that, maybe, and like also they just sort of Postmate foods. And no one goes to, like, malls anymore. I don't know. I'm too far.
I give credit. He's like, I don't know. I'm too old to know the difference, right? But it seems to me that the market's changed.
Well, let's also be honest. I don't know exactly what jobs they're all doing, but, even the high school students that I teach, there's a summer youth program that they get hired for, and the scope of that has changed. A lot of these kids that got these summer youth jobs, their jobs online.
Oh, yeah.
Via remote.
Yeah.
So like the landscape has changed, and a lot of them are not going for your server job anymore. They're like, oh, I can get this sort of computery job. And they were born with cell phones and iPads and various laptops like right in front of them. So it's not like in our generation where we had to like learn this. I mean, they had to learn it, but they were so much younger when they were learning how to use it. They've been basically using it forever, It's second nature to them. So out of the gate jobs for them, they're probably still entry-level types of jobs, but they're entry-level types of jobs where they're doing things with computers and things,
Well, no, and I don't disagree. I mean, so like, I know I'm going to age us a little bit here, but it's like, you didn't really get into that in high school, computers and stuff. That wasn't.
No.
Yeah, so
Not to college.
Yeah, I was a couple of years younger than Lacey, but my generation was the first generation where, yeah, we started doing computers in grade school, but we were the first generation to do that, right? But you got to understand the shit we grew up with and were trained to do in grade school, middle school, high school, that those eras, and then college even. Um, yeah, it's nothing compared to today's technology. That shit. I mean, the stuff we learned on was. I mean, it looks like the Flintstones compared to today's stuff. You know, um, it's just amazing to me. It's like, yeah, but that's. I mean, I remember. You know, I'm so old. I remember I used to have to go. I spent most nights at the library because that's how we did research. Because you couldn't trust shit you got off the internet. You couldn't verify it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You kind of had to go to the library
Print it off
and find a book,
and
or
and photocopy the pages.
or
And
use the microfiche.
oh my god, fucking microfiche! I hated that.
I
Slide,
found it really
slide.
complicated. It was really complicated to try to figure out. I was terrible at doing research because it was really hard to literally find the stuff in the microfiche and like navigate all that.
Oh yeah. Most kids, you guys don't know what it smells like to be in a Stax. It hasn't.
As you're talking about it, I'm having a sensory memory
Of
of
old
that.
of that old paper smell. It's so
Yes.
it's so pungent. You can't miss it. Anyway, just to look at, but he's got a good point about this. About okay,
No, I have to digress. I just want those younger members of our audience to know bookworms are actually a thing.
yeah, oh yeah, but they were not really. They're mealworms. Yeah,
Yes.
if they don't take care of the books, if you don't keep it dry enough, yeah, mealworms will get into that paper.
Yes, it's real. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can keep going, but I really needed to say that. It was very important.
Especially that old cotton parchment shit. Yeah. Anyway, so he did make a
I'm
good.
gonna have it out of my nostrils all night now.
Yeah. The good point he made is this: is once again, it's not that people aren't working. So here's Bureau of Labor Statistics again. Employment population ratio 16 to 19. What you see here, though, is this huge dip in the early 2000s. Do you see that, Lacey? Is that too small?
It's kind of too small.
Let's see if I can we get it bigger. Let's do this. There we go. There we go.
It felt better.
Much better. So in the early 2000s, you see this huge dip, right? 16 to 19. You see it too here with 2024. Not so much with 25 to 54, but you see that big dip. You know what that was? That was the boom in people going to college. Even though college was getting more and more expensive, it got even drastically more expensive after that. But more and more people were going to college because most new jobs required a college degree or some trade school or something. Right? So a lot of these younger people didn't do that. The other thing that Lacey pointed out earlier, which was a great point, is your biggest time of year when people like 16 to 24 work, especially 16 to 20, is summer. They take summer jobs. Right? So this guy calling in with his restaurant going, well, we hire a lot of younger people. And it's like, well, yeah. And I'll bet you in the summer, it's not a big issue. But at the same time, let's be realistic. There's high turnover with young people. This is not their career. They're not staying there for 5 years. Maybe a year, maybe 2. Right? So I think Bill Burr's got a good point, which is, yeah, but the difference is now they have other options. So what are you offering that makes it your job more attractive than, oh, I'll just Uber or I'll just get a job on, I'll try to make money on Instagram or whatever, right? So just to say that, just to tie that all in with the race and the immigrants, but also with young people too, where it's like you get this sort of bias where it's just they're just lazy and they don't want to work. It's not the case. They do. And a lot of them do. They just don't want to take your shitty ass jobs anymore.
You stole my line. I feel like the name of this whole sequence is "We don't want your shitty ass job."
Well, but
Not we don't want a job. We don't want your shitty ass job.
Well, but here's the thing: though, is a lot of immigrants, because they're new here and because they're just trying to get started, they will take your shitty ass job. The problem is you don't want immigrants here. That's why you're passing all these bills to make it impossible for them to work.
And then getting pissed off
that nobody's working.
That not immigrants that don't want your shitty ass
job and don't want to work. Why? Because they didn't grow up in that society, right? Because if I grew up in Venezuela and I was super poor and I got here and Taco Bell offered me $15 an hour, I'd be fucking ecstatic. But I grew up in America, so Taco Bell offered me $15 an hour. I'm going to sit there and go, I think I can do better. Or if not, I'm just going to suck it up and take my benefits. Instead of risking losing my benefits to go work at fucking Taco Bell. Right? So you create the problem and then you ask, why is there a problem? It's once again, I have a fixed deck and I deal out the cards for poker to Lacey, and Lacey keeps losing, and I'm like, why do you keep losing, Lacey? What's your problem? It's a fixed game. That's the problem. I know the answer.
Yep. That's it.
Pretending like I don't. Well, anyway, that was kind of our show for today. So where can everybody